So, New World has released its first patch and has addressed some real annoying issues. Dogthulu here, and I will go through it all with you. We also left us a cute message at the start. If you want to get to the meat of the notes, please check the timestamps in the bar. Let's dive into that message. Greetings, adventurers. What a week it has been. We're humbled and honored by the amount of adventurers that have begun to make their mark on Eternum. Last week we shared that our top priority was ensuring that everyone could log in and play quickly without having to wait for queues. To accomplish that, we more than doubled the number of available servers, increased server capacity on existing servers, and are continuing to work on features to allow players to transfer their characters to different servers, which will be available soon. While members of our team are working tirelessly to ensure players can find a server to call their long-term home with character transfer features, other members have worked on a few additional quality of life updates and bug fixes to ensure that once players have entered Eternum, they're able to play and progress as intended. We'll continue to work on server transfers, bug fixes, and other issues in future updates. Thanks for your reports on the official New World forums. So general changes. They were just AFKs coming in AFK times. There are so many reports out there of people doing scummy things and running into walls to avoid leaving the server and to skip queues. This is a problem, and it keeps people waiting in line longer than normal or longer than would really be acceptable, and they have to address that. If you're not familiar with this, then the rest of us envy you. And if you've seen someone running into a wall for hours on end, you may be more familiar with it than you think. Some of the most common things people have been doing to keep from getting kicked while they flog the log or walk the dog, or in some cases sleep a whole night, have been addressed. No longer can you just randomly move your mouse with a script or with a fan. Somebody used a fan to keep you active. Wall runners should also be on the list for getting detected. AFK times have been reduced from 25 minutes to 20, and the warning message for this will now trigger at 15 minutes. As queues start to even out, and the ability to change servers is on the horizon. Feels like it came a little late. However, at least it came. Giggity. Now, big change that they're making is to War. Not to all of War, just a little bit. They're changing the emplaced guns. War has changed the projectile guns to hitscan to improve performance. During times of war, the servers do tend to get really laggy, and hopefully this will address that. Now, for those not familiar with the terminology here, and greatly simplified, the game uses a ballistic type system where the projectile is an actual object in the game that has to touch something to cause damage. This is ballistic hit detection, and it is generally resource intensive compared to alternate methods, like hitscan. Now, they are changing to a system that makes the weapon work a little bit like an instant hit laser. That's hitscan. In making this change, they're eliminating every frame between starting your shot and the bullet impacting something. That's a lot of performance gain. As hitscan takes place instantly on the attack, we should see some better feeling gameplay around that. Now, whether that's on the server side or the client side, they haven't said. It's most likely going to take place on the server side to keep things fair and even. Otherwise, you can have some really interesting and weird effects, as anybody who's played one of the older shooters, Medal of Honor, will know. Now, hopefully, war will go much smoother for everybody, including those not participating in it. Looking at the patch notes, we can see some more annoying visual UI bugs that have been fixed, and it's going to make the game a much more enjoyable experience for many. They also fixed numerous quests and some interaction bugs, but we're going to focus on the notable ones here. We're not going to go through every bit of minutia. So, we're going to start strong here. They ruined Pirate Stance. Pirate Stance was glorious as it was. You could hover your foot on random things, and you could just position it anywhere. It was the perfect height for another player wearing a shield. And now they've made it so it actually properly spawns the barrel when you use Pirate Stance. Who knew this whole time that it was supposed to spawn a barrel? I didn't. I thought that it was working as intended. It was perfect. The "you are leaving an event" bug has been addressed. I do not need to tell you how annoying it is to have the top right of your screen constantly warning you that you are leaving an event. Hopefully, now we're no longer going to have to deal with this. Fix an issue where players didn't receive coin as a reward for some activities. That's a big one. In a game where everybody's grinding on the first week to try and get 100k to take territories, and most people have already taken a lot of territories, this is an important bug to get fixed. Revenue generation in the game is already really slow for most people, and hopefully this will speed things up. They fixed the bug where interrupting the fast travel while you're in a house can cause you to get stuck in the house. This happened to me. happened in the beta, happened to somebody else I knew as well. And thankfully it's now resolved. At least according to the notes, I haven't tested it yet myself. And now we can fast travel without worry from our own houses. Fixed an issue where players are asked to claim achievement titles repeatedly, despite having already claimed them. This is purely cosmetic, you still get the titles, you can still apply them, but it is absolutely obnoxious that it pops up so many times. Now outside of Pirate Stance, you know, the one that they ruined, they have fixed the second most comical bug, which is the leg animations freezing. Gone are the days of turning into Wonder Woman to fly everywhere, and it breaks my heart. But I'm glad they resolved it, as it does kind of break immersion. Not that many of us would notice, looking at the Steam numbers. Fixed some game crashes related to New World Twitch integrations. Dreamers rejoice? I don't know. Never happened to me or anybody that I watch. Nobody that I know has encountered this issue either. Feature was teased really and never implemented for a lot of us, so I'm not sure which integrations they're talking about here. It's a little vague, but let's see what they've done. Many spawn issues were fixed. Some bosses like Pastor Walsh were spawning far too much. We would be in there farming and all of a sudden we'd be looting a chest and there would be a big guy behind us. Kind of bad things happen. I don't want to talk about it. Now there's a lot of other ones that were spawning too slow and they resolved those. I'm not going to go into the detail of every single one. There's a laundry list of quests that you cannot accept this quest because of this quest fixes that were put in place. There's really too many to list, but it looks like there's some kind of an endemic issue with how they structured their quest triggers, and they've identified and fixed that. So we went over what they have changed. It's a pretty short list, to be honest. But what isn't here is balance changes. Either they're not happening, and they may not be, or they're keeping them close to their chest. I favor the idea that they're holding off and making changes until they have enough in-game data from high-level players to really do anything. A lot of times what will happen is they will find something that is overperforming or underperforming in a certain area and change it globally and then affect everything else down the chain. So let's say you have a rapier that's overperforming in in-game PvP and they nerf it. Well, does that nerf make it so it changes the entire usage of the rapier down the line to where nobody can use it anymore to level with? Things like that are important to look out for, and if they do it early and they do it recklessly, we can run into a bad situation where they ruin things. So far, they seem to be fairly conservative in how they apply these, and here's hoping for the best. As this is our first patch, they've done a good job addressing some of the most annoying issues. I'm happy to see that within this time frame, they have come and addressed the issues that have been put onto the forum that I care about at least. Except the pirates. Leave my pirates alone. As always, thanks for listening. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that stuff. Join the Covenant.